Mike came to Liberia and actually entered the Liberian Marathon and then ended up winning it without even realizing it. That was an amazing story. I wanted
Oh,
just to
yeah,
pick your brain on. Of course, one of
sure.
the hardest countries in the world to run in itself, end up doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean it was a lot of fun actually. I've done the Sierra Leone Marathon, I think 3 times now, and the best I ever positioned there was fourth. So Liberia, I always run round and around the ELWA compound. So back in 2022, and our son Finley was 6, 7 months old when we moved out there. So I would do most of my training early in the morning. He'd wake up at 4:30 or 5 just crying, unable to sleep. So I would stick him in the pram and push him round and round ELWA compound. There's this kind of 2 mile loop that you can do. And that was most of my training, pushing Finley round and round and round in the pram, trying to get him to stop crying and at least enjoy his life a little bit. And so I get to the start of this marathon and it's 6 o'clock. There's only about, I don't know, 70 people at the start of the marathon. And I'm all there. I've got my little Swansea Harriers. I run with Swansea Harriers in the UK. I got my little vest on, and there's people of all sorts there, Liberians and internationals. And I start going, and
But
with
the one thing you didn't have is you didn't have your pram in front of you. So you've done the hard training. You've done the hard training
yeah,
with your
I
son.
like to think that helped me. Yeah, I like to think it did. So 2 miles in, I get to this point where I realize there's a group of about a dozen runners who've shot off way in the distance, and I can just about pick them out in the distance. And I think, oh my goodness, this is a disaster. There's some proper pros turned up here from, I don't know, Kenya or Ethiopia or something, and I'm not even sure I should have entered this. So I'm going along, and then get to about 4 or 5 miles in, and a bunch of them all dropped out. They didn't realize the marathon was 26.2 miles. So I thought, okay, all right, this isn't so bad after all. I might catch one or two people. As I get to about sort of 20 miles, basically running. There's a big hill, sort of with a Capitol building on. You run down it, and I actually feel really good. Picked off a couple more guys, and there are like two guys ahead of me, Sierra Leoneans. I thought, they're going to be serious, and they were good runners. I kind of had run with them in Sierra Leone Marathon before, and I sort of came alongside one of them. He was really struggling, so I overtook him. Overtook the next guy, and I thought, oh, there's probably a bunch of guys who've already finished by now, about 24 miles into this. And then alongside me comes this motorbike and this car with flashing lights. And I thought, oh no, like I've
What
broken
have
the
I
rule.
done?
And I'm running along. And then about 25 miles in, about a mile and a bit to go, I hear them shouting, it's the first winner. And I'm like, seriously, I'm winning this thing. So I get to the last mile. And it just becomes sort of an all out hang on in there, sprint as hard as you can,
Don't look
get to
back,
the
run for your
line,
life.
and
Wow,
yeah, just sort of stumble across it and just end up passing out, just well, not totally passing out, falling over in the stadium.
amazing,
Like I won this
amazing.
thing.
So they
That was,
finish. They finish at the SKD Stadium, do they?
they do,
In
yeah.
the middle there. Great.
Fantastic
Yeah.
venue to finish it. I mean, the
Yeah.
atmosphere coming into the stadium was second to none. There were loads of people watching, and yeah, and then the award ceremony, everything went on for about 4 hours. So just spent the entire day kind of
Wow.
cooking in the sun, trying to rehydrate. Uh, Great fun.